Good morning, students. I am Mr. Prakash and back once again with the new chapter today, chapter number 3, Major Water Bodies of the Earth. All the water bodies such as oceans, seas, rivers and lakes together make up the hydrosphere. Dear students, the word hydrosphere comes from two different words, hydro and sphere. Hydro means water and sphere means an area or a circle. So, hydrosphere is an area which encircles all types of water bodies such as oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, bay, gulf, any type of water body. The hydrosphere also includes the ice sheets in the polar and high mountain regions, underground water, and water vapor in the air. All these water bodies are divided into two types of water bodies, major water bodies and minor water bodies. Major water bodies include oceans and seas, whereas minor water bodies include bay, gulf, lagoon, river, lake, etc. So we start with the topic major water bodies. Under it, we start with oceans. There are 4 major oceans. According to size, they are the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. Let us now learn more about these water bodies. Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest ocean. The Mariana Trench, the deepest place on the Earth's surface, lies in the Pacific Ocean. It is surrounded by the continents of North America and South America in the east, and Asia and Australia in the west. In the north, it is joined to the Arctic Ocean through the narrow Bering Strait. In the south, it merges with the Atlantic and the Indian Oceans. Now we move to the second ocean, Atlantic Ocean. It is the second largest ocean of the world. It is shaped like the letter S. The continents of North America and South America border this ocean in the west, while Europe and Africa make up its eastern boundary. In the north, it stretches up to the Arctic Circle. In the south, it merges with the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. The third ocean is Indian Ocean. It is the only ocean to be named after a country. And the name of the country is indeed India. Its shape is roughly triangular. When we look at the shape of Indian Ocean, the shape of this ocean is triangular. The Indian Ocean is bound in the north by the continent of Asia. India lies at the head of this ocean. When we look at the location of Indian Ocean, we find India is just above this ocean. The Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal are the two northward extensions of the Indian Ocean. To the east of this ocean lies Australia and to the west lies Africa. In the south, it merges with the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans. The fourth ocean is Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean lies around the North Pole and extends southward up to the Arctic Circle. And Arctic Circle is located at 66.5 degree north latitude. North America, Europe and Asia are the 3 continents that border this ocean in the south. The Arctic Ocean merges with the Atlantic between Greenland and Scandinavia. When you look at the map of the world, we will see between Greenland and the north part of Europe, which is Scandinavia, between these two areas lies the water of Arctic Ocean.
It is linked to the Pacific through the narrow Bering Strait. Most parts of this ocean remain covered with thick ice throughout the year. It is so because Arctic Ocean lies in the polar region, and polar region always has cold climate, and that is why this ocean remains covered with thick ice throughout the year. The last and the fifth ocean is Antarctic Ocean. The continent of Antarctica is surrounded by a water body which is actually an extension of the Pacific, the Atlantic and the Indian Oceans. This ocean is also known as the Southern Ocean. Now we move to the next topic, importance of oceans. Oceans are very useful to us in a number of ways. So we will see which are the ways in which oceans are important to us. Point number 1. Ocean waters are home to a great variety of marine life. Marine life means all those animals which live in water. So they have marine life. Point number 2. Oceans are an enormous source of energy. And how they are source of energy? Because tides and waves can be harnessed in oceans to generate power. And this power which is generated with the help of tides and waves is called tidal energy. Point number 3. Oceans serve as means of transport. Number of countries exchange their material, export, import different types of materials among them. So it happens through water bodies. So oceans become as a means of transport for all such vehicles, especially ships, boats, cargoes, etc. Point number 4. They are source of clouds and thus bring rainfall. We know rainfall is a part of water cycle process. Oceans are a major source of evaporation, and through condensation water vapor becomes clouds, and finally it comes down to the earth's surface in form of rain. Having seen different oceans and their characteristics, now we move to the next topic, that is seas. What are seas? What is the definition of seas? We can say water bodies that are smaller in size than oceans are called seas. So when we look at the definition, it states that seas are smaller in size than oceans. In fact, seas are also huge, but they are not as big as oceans. Oceans are bigger than seas, and seas are smaller than oceans. There are two types of seas. Number 1, marginal seas, and number 2, inland seas. Now we will see what are marginal seas. Some seas are extensions of oceans and are partially surrounded by land. This type of seas are called marginal seas. So try to understand the definition of marginal sea. These are extensions of oceans and they are also surrounded by land partially. Example of marginal seas are Barents Sea, East Siberian Sea, North Sea, etc. Now we come to the next type of seas, that is inland seas. Some seas are completely surrounded by land without any outlet into the ocean. They are completely surrounded by land from all the sides. And that is the basic difference between marginal seas and inland seas. Marginal seas are surrounded by land partially. They are extension of oceans, whereas inland seas are not extension of oceans. They are not partially surrounded by land. They are completely surrounded by land from all the sides. They exist independently their own. Examples of inland seas are Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Aral Sea and Dead Sea. So in today's class we learnt about oceans, their characteristics, the importance of oceans, and what are seas, the two types of seas, marginal seas inland seas, some examples of them. So I hope today's class is clear to all of you. If you want, you can watch the video once again, and please don't forget to read the book for the better understanding of the content of the chapter. Thank you.